Thank you, Mayor. I'd too like to kind of join in on some of the comments about the COMCD. I might throw up this first slide, Bryce. I think one of the points that seems to be missing, through this whole discussion has been that the augmentation of the lake using indirect potable reuse it's a proven technology. It's been around for 40 years. It's been used in 8 states. We have the state of Arizona right now that's moving toward adopting regulations on IPR, and sometimes it's told in other communities that this is some new Star Wars technology. It's not. It's been around for many years. It's been tested. It's been reviewed by industry representatives, major universities, water resource organizations, and it's proved to be a very effective use. As another example, the state of California, who has the most stringent water use regulations in the world, permit lake augmentation through reuse. And so hopefully that maybe put that a little bit more in perspective. One of the other council members talked a little bit about that through the Strategic Water Supply Plan. We looked at what are some of the big community values that are really embedded in this water option. And there were really, I think, 4 that it came down to. One was having a diversity of supply sources, and that's kind of been mentioned here tonight. But having that diversity of sources was really important. The second one was to have the ability to phase projects, and that is really about capital improvements programming, but it's also about giving us the ability to stage rate increases down the road and not to have major rate shocks as they would happen as the projects came about. Third was the ability to meet our demands beyond 2060. We want to be looking beyond that range and looking longer toward the future, and reuse gives us that ability. And finally, to have a strong focus on local supplies, and that was mentioned as well tonight too. So just appreciate the comments that have already been made, but this is a major issue, and that we're really going to have to monitor very, very carefully in the coming weeks. Go ahead, Bryce. You might move on to the next one. Speaking a little bit in this same area, our Water Reclamation Facility is going to turn 75 this year. We're just finishing up a major construction project at that facility. It was about $63 million. Was approved by the voters in 2013. We're going to be having an open house and tours on May the 18th at 9 a.m. and encourage people to come and take a look at that. Some of the benefits we have of our expanded plant is, one, we've increased the capacity at the plant. We've made some needed or some required discharge requirements under the state and federal law, and we've made major investments in odor control and some other resiliency issues out there as well. And so Mr. Kaminsky and I were just talking today about how well the plant is running. We are significantly below the permitted discharge limits that we have on the effluent that's going into the river, and so it's working very, very well. And then finally, just a quick comment. Sometimes we get these questions about what's being built here or what's going on with that particular building, and we just recently did receive a building permit application for a renovation of the former Holiday Inn in the Norman Hotel. The current owner is going to be working through Marriott, and they have plans for a Delta Hotel by Marriott. This was a brand that was recently started in Canada. It's just making its debut in the United States, and so as we understand, it's a very new and upscale facility. And so we have questions that come up from time to time about buildings in the community, and I thought this was one that I'd like to bring to your attention. So thank you, Mayor.